The Midnight Ride. On a chilly October night, Jake decided to take a late-night drive through the countryside to clear his mind. The road was deserted, and the full moon cast an eerie glow over the landscape. As he drove, he noticed a figure standing by the side of the road, thumbing for a ride. Against his better judgment, Jake pulled over and rolled down his window. The hitchhiker was a young woman with long, dark hair and a pale complexion. She wore a thin, white dress that seemed out of place for the cold night. "Thanks for stopping," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm heading to the old mill on Creek Road. Can you take me there?" Jake nodded, though he felt a chill run down his spine. "Sure, hop in." The woman climbed into the passenger seat and Jake continued driving. They drove in silence for a while, the only sound being the hum of the engine and the occasional hoot of an owl. As they neared Creek Road, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. "Why are you going to the mill so late?" he asked, trying to make conversation. "I need to see my family," she replied cryptically. "It's been so long." As they approached the old mill, Jake's car suddenly sputtered and died. He cursed under his breath and tried to restart it, but the engine wouldn't turn over. The woman turned to him, her eyes wide with fear. "They're here," she whispered. Before Jake could ask what she meant, he saw them, figures emerging from the shadows, moving toward the car. They were translucent, almost ghostly, their faces twisted in agony. Panicking, Jake fumbled with his phone, but there was no signal. He looked at the woman, her face now calm despite the terror outside. "You have to help me," she said urgently. "They won't leave me alone. They think I'll..." "What are you talking about?" Jake demanded, his voice rising in fear. "I'm not alive," she confessed. "I died years ago, in this very mill. These spirits are trapped, and they think I'm one of them. You have to convince them to let me go." Heart pounding, Jake got out of the car and faced the approaching spirits. "She doesn't belong with you," he shouted. "Let her go." The spirits halted, their hollow eyes fixed on him. One of them, an older man, stepped forward. "She betrayed us," he said in a raspy voice. "She was one of us, and she left us to die." Jake turned to the woman, his mind racing. "Is this true?" Tears streamed down her face. "I tried to save them, but I couldn't. I ran, and they died because of me." The spirits began to close in again, and Jake felt a cold hand grasp his arm. "What do you want from me?" he cried. "Join us," the spirits whispered in unison. "Join us, and she can be free." Jake looked at the woman, her eyes pleading. He realized he had no choice. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward. "Take me," he said. The spirits surrounded him, their coldness seeping into his bones. As he felt his life force being drained away, he